Alright guys, so today I'm going to teach you guys how to take off the door panel. This will kind of go for either driver's side or passenger side, whichever one you're working on. This kind of just to show you where everything is, kind of expose the inner workings so you can get to the speakers if you need to replace them, and or the tweeters, plus switches, buttons, harnesses, and whatnot. A couple things you guys are going to need. You're going to need a Phillips head screwdriver, a flathead screwdriver, a socket set, I believe 7mm, a torx kit, and you're also going to need a trim tool remover. Alright, so the first thing we're going to want to do on removing this door is find all the screws. You have a Phillips head screwdriver here, or Phillips screw. There's another one here. That's pretty far, probably directly in the middle. And then you've got another one here. It's closer towards the edge of the door. There's only 3 on the outside there. Now there are 2 hidden ones. One of them is a torx screw that sits underneath the little change holder, so you'll just have this little piece that slides out. And the second hidden one is actually behind the door handle here. Now you can just remove that with a screwdriver, a flathead screwdriver. There's just some access holes up there for you to stick your screwdriver into. What you want to do is remove the tweeter. You can just use your trim tool. If it's small enough, slide it under a corner and just pry up, and that'll expose your tweeter and the electrical connections to get to it. Now it's just a little tab here and it's removed. And just put that aside for safekeeping. For any reason you need to replace it, it's a 2-piece harness here. As you can see, it's separated throughout, so you can just remove that back cover to remove the actual tweeter and replace it. So the second thing you want to do is start removing all the screws. Now, like I said, there's only 3 on the perimeter. And make sure you put them in a safe spot where you're not going to lose them. Last one on the outside. And then we'll move on to the torx screw. My torx is labeled as a T27 torx screw. Just check with your sizes. Just stick it in there beforehand to make sure that it all fits right. And then last but not least, you're going to want to undo the, well, it's actually a bolt, I suppose. It's 7mm. And that's all the screws. Alright, so for the removal of the entire door panel, start slowly prying away. And you can see the white clips on the inside. You just want to make sure not to pull too hard, because right there is the armature pin for your lock. Now you'll just continuously pull along the bottom, popping out all those pins, those white pins. And you can use a little force, and eventually the entire thing will pop off. So in order to remove the door panel, what you want to do is the same thing as you were doing with the other clips. Just slightly pull out through along the whole top edge of the unit. Now, when I was mentioning that you want to be careful with that armature, that's pretty much it. And then all that's left to do is disconnect the few wires that are holding on the door. And I'll kind of go through those really quick. You've got a few here that are holding on your lock buttons and your window buttons and so forth. A few of these connectors you want to remember is for your mirror assembly. Now this one's a little difficult to get out. I had to do it prior, but if you can see, there's actually like a little notch on the gray part of the clip of the harness. There's a little black U shape. You want to pull up on the U shape until it clears that little triangular piece of the gray clip, and then just pull out. But the one thing you want to keep in mind is do it while you push it out of the actual door panel. Step of getting this door off is removing the latch mechanism here. It's this green clip. It's kind of tied into the whole door handle and everything. Easiest way to do it is on the top. You push away from you and extend. Sorry, I'll show that again. So you'll push away from you and you'll extend out and then push the wire away from you, and the door is completely disconnected. Door panel is completely off. You'll notice that you got your locking mechanism over here. This piece is actually a sound deadener. You want to try and avoid taking that off if you can. You've got your attachments for your trunk button, the door latch, the windows, the mirrors, speaker, and this long one that you'll be removing is for your ABL light. Now personally, I ended up breaking my clip on accident, which is kind of a good thing because I wanted to replace it. And you'll also have access to your speaker and the rest of the door wiring harness. Now if any of these go bad, obviously you're probably going to want a professional to splice into that loom. If it's something simple like you broke the actual button or something, it's going to be a little easier to replace.